Welcome to this Windows and Computer channel, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the overall speed of Windows 10 May 2020 update. Because I do have people out there that say, well, I've upgraded and my PC is now super slow. It can't take this version. And the thing is, it has nothing to do with the fact that Windows 10 May 2020 update is it, more bloated, is it heavier than the other versions. Actually, the performance on each version of Windows 10 is pretty much stable. From the original 1507 in July of 2015 to today's version, all my PCs that I use that have moved on to older versions have not really seen any performance decrease. Microsoft has been really tweaking the versions a lot, and every time there's something new to make sure that it runs as smoothly as possible. So if you think your computer is slow because Windows is bigger and every version is bigger, it is not true. Every version of Windows is roughly the same. And to give you an idea, the image, the download image, is actually the same size. And it doesn't take more space than it really did in 2015, or barely more. It doesn't run more in the background, more processes in the background. In fact, a lot of the new technologies that are implemented in PCs now actually make Windows 10 run smoother and faster over time. So if your PC is slower because you moved on to a new version, there are many other things that are to blame for that performance decrease. One of them is if you've been just upgrading from version to version, going to that Windows update, checking it out, and letting it just upgrade to the latest version of Windows 10. Well, one of the things is that at some point you do need to reinstall. And this is of every operating system. Any operating system you upgrade over time and time and have not done a clean install is getting bigger over time, and Windows certainly does, because of all the extra steps that it needs for the upgrade process. And at some point, that makes it slower. That's why one of the first things you should do after upgrading, especially if you're on several upgrades, is completely reinstall from scratch with version 2004. That will definitely make your PC so much faster. I know it's a big job, and for a lot of people, it's something that you don't want to do, or if you do it, you need to have somebody do it for you. It is like that. It always has been. And you think other PCs and other manufacturers are better. I can tell you, I've owned a MacBook Pro for years. After several upgrades to their macOS new versions, you end up completely reinstalling because it messes up at some point. And you end up just reinstalling from scratch there too. It's universal. It's not something that is Windows only. Now, that's the first thing you should think about, a complete clean and reinstall. And I mean without keeping any software, anything. The software you actually move forward with is also a problem most of the time. Think about the software you've got in that list of programs. Is there in there some software that you've been using that's old? Remember that some of them install special drivers, some of them use special files that are DLLs that might be actually causing sluggishness in your Windows operating system. A software that has not been updated since 2015, for example, will and can cause problems in more recent Windows because the files that they use are not supported anymore, or they have upgraded versions of these files that older software doesn't have. So think about the fact that at some point, when you move ahead in different versions, there could be that old piece of software that you're using that actually is making your computer really run slow. Another thing that is happening, it could be drivers. Make sure you've got the latest drivers by going to, you can right-click on the Start menu, go into the Device Manager, check the different drivers, especially the display drivers and anything that is, drivers for your network, Wi-Fi, Ethernet, and so on. Make sure that you're running when you open a section here for display adapters, for example. If I click one and I click driver, my drivers are updated to the latest version. Actually, there's even a newer version today, July 9th, of NVIDIA that I could install if I want to. That could help greatly in having more performance. That is very important. And make sure that you can check out what's starting up with your PC. Right click on the taskbar, go in Test Manager, go into Startup, and here in the Startup, check what is starting with your PC and disable everything that you don't need, that doesn't need to run in the background. It's very, very important in order for this to actually make sure that you run as smoothly as possible. But overall, the performance of every version of Windows is pretty much the same or even improved. Version 2004 uses also some newer technologies in the latest Intel CPUs that actually even improves the way that it manages memory, that it manages the whole system. So nope, the May 2020 update is not slower than previous versions. It is the same performance, if not better. And there's way other things that are making your PC slower if that happens. If you enjoy our videos, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up. Thank you for watching.